Napiga kona inanionyesha mambo. Welcome guys, I am Ian Kahuho, Car Advice Kenya, and today we have a bike on our channel and we're going to review this Zeno bike. It's electric. A friend told me at MSK Kosawa, so I'm considering buying it. So at the end of this review, I'm going to tell you whether to buy it, consider it or avoid it. I'm going to give you the best review on this bike. I'm also going to do a test drive. Wanasema it can do 100 kilometers range when you're alone. I'm going to try that. Sitafika your 100, but I got some boda guys wenye wako bike kama hii. I'm going to find them somewhere, then ask for their honest opinion on this bike. Let's find out. Just to be clear, this was my first time riding any motorcycle, electric or petrol. So I started on a flat stretch to understand balance and throttle response. Initial takeoff is mostly smooth, but if you twist the throttle too hard, it can jump forward. As a beginner, that's something you really have to be careful with, because that's how crashes happen. Once you're gentle and deliberate, it becomes much easier to control. After getting comfortable with throttle control on the flat stretch, I took it into a more active area. Lots of people, movement, and distractions. I mean, the kind of place you actually ride through every day. It's worth the hype, because a friend has one, and so it's time we find out if it makes sense. Yeah, if place gonna watu so I'll have to be slow. But you know, if you have driven a bike, you know, the normal bicycle, this shouldn't be hard to drive, because considering I don't know how to ride the normal bike, the petrol one, you have to use clutch and whatnot. But if you know how to ride a bike, just balance, you'll be okay. From here I can see my speed, I can see my battery, what's left. The charge is at 40%. So Zeno says it can do 100 kilometers on a full charge. I don't think we're going to try that out today, but what I can assure you is that I'm going to look for other people with Zeno bikes, riders, ask them how the bike is, what they have found, the difficulties in this bike, the honest review for this bike. After dealing with all that movement and distraction, I wanted to see how the bike would handle something more demanding: hills. Surprisingly, this part went better than I expected. I moved through the gears from 1 to 2, then into 3 for more power, and the response was immediate. The gear transition made a noticeable difference. The bike pulled cleanly without feeling strained. Cornering on the hill also felt easier once I had a bit of speed. The bike settles better when you're not crawling, which gave me more confidence. After doing some laps, let me stop and show you a few things about this bike. We are right here stopping. Yeah, so since I want to buy this bike, what the common mwananchi does, the boda guys that mostly buy these bikes, but I want to buy it for my personal reason. So the first thing I check, just like everyone else, kwanza ni look. Kuangalia tu hivi nione how does this bike look. I mean, you look at it, you compare it to other bikes. Kwanza tuwe mwenyewe ujambie, is it worth it? How is the design of this bike? And the first thing imenifurahisha, this headlight here, is the DRLs that you can use them on your daytime. Then here we have the indicators, and we have the logo here. So it's very, very nice. We come to the side, of course, written Zeno. It's electric, nothing, it's not taking much space here because we have the batteries inside there. I'm going to show you the batteries in a moment, and we have that Emara word written over there. So what about the cargo space? The cargo space of this bike is quite big, because when I sit, then maybe I can have a passenger here and maybe a small cargo here. So at the back here, this one is registered, got in a number plate. You can see, the brake lights, they are quite small, but I think they're illuminating enough. But I would want a bigger light, even the bigger indicators. I've tried them, they are working well. But funny thing I found about this bike, it's the first bike I'm seeing that haina hazard. I don't know why it doesn't have you know, when you come here, I'm coming to the controls in a minute, but you check, it does not have. So guys, another guy has come to tunafanya review. This guy sasa akona Zeno mwenyewe. Tuko hapa Kasarani, was maybe having some errands, maybe atuambia ametoka wapi. Tumepatana na yeye akiona hii bike. Buda, mimi nataka kubuy bike kama hii. Okay? So, kuni advice unaona aje? Should I go ahead and buy it?
It's a good bike, huh? As preferred to electric bikes that are around Kenya. It's most affordable, and you can acquire it at a cheaper price.
I've heard that electric bikes zinakuanga very weak. So wanasema siwezi fanya nayo boda, siwezi beba mzigo nayo. And mimi nimekuwa na hii bike, and from what I should be, you know, experiencing, I know you are more experienced in that field. Okay. But inaweza beba wase wengi kwa hii boda, like tunaweza kaa wase 3 4 bebo vizuri, we are comfortable kama hizi bike zingine. Ama hii tutaenda pale kidogo izime.
Okay, from experience, that I've always also encountered in my issues of riding the bike, which are normal day. Huwa nabebanga watu 3 kutoka Kasarani town na ninaga vizuri sana.
So watu 3 plus wewe 4. So nyote wote mko 4.
Tuko 4 na tunaenda at a very good speed.
Umesema inaweza beba mizigo.
Inabeba mzigo vizuri sana, especially ukienda Kingara Hill, ambayo most of the electric bikes we cannot manage, but in Zeno ina manage. At gear 1 inapanda vizuri, hata kibeba watu wawili.
Asante sana bro.
Haya, karibu.
Haya, nice day.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The first thing was boda watauliza, it's about the stiffness of this bike. Remember when the electric bikes first came to Kenya, kumekuwa na issues that kwanza haziwezi panda mlima, kwanza kai imebeba, ama they are very very weak. And if you see any electric bike passing, there's always that notion that the bike is weak. Funny thing is that I found out that this bike is even stronger than your Bajaj and Boxer bikes hapa nje, because it has a stronger chassis. First of all, normal bikes iko na, you know, the one top tube. For those who wanajua bike, hiyo ni chassis za bike, one top tube and another bottom one. Hii iko na mbili, at the top and at the bottom, na zote ziko, you know, stronger steel and a bigger diameter. When I was riding this bike, nimesikia iko very very strong. So we come to the load capacity of this bike, which is also a concern by the boda guys. You know, the petrol bikes tunanga say they be carried up to 4 people. How can this bike perform? Now, first of all, an interesting thing, this is an electric bike, of course, so it doesn't have the clutch. You don't have to use, you know, your feet while driving. So that means kama unabeba wase wengi, I'm not advocating for that, but kama unabeba wase wengi, you can even sit up to here, this top part, alafu mguu zako uwekele kwa hizi nini hapa, then your passengers watakuwa hapa, utaona bado kutakuwa na space ya mzigo. The normal bike unaona mzee kuna venye anakuwa ameka hivi, because they have to, you have their legs at the back uje kukanyaga hizo clutch and what not, but hii hapa unaweza kalia hapa mbele. To know this bike is quite strong. Hata wasao magari wanajuanga, when you're tuning a car, you're tuning the engine and the exhaust and all that, and then you know, the gearing system, you do not forget the brakes, because if you're going faster you need to stop faster. Now according to this bike, ukikompare na hizi bikes zingine, even other electric bikes and you know, the petrol bikes, hii inakuja na brake discs, sio drum brakes. Drum brakes watu mko very mnazijua sana, ndio zinakuwa zimewekwa huko nyuma, but for German people, you know, miguu zote enda zinakuwa na brake discs. Hii bike inakuja pia na brake disc. Concern wa boda ama mse yote anataka kununua electric bike for business ama for personal use, kuwa nayo, it's about the battery, lifespan, swapping, hizo vitu zote, power ya hii bike. So let's find out about that. Now kitu ya kwanza, use this key. Hii ndio kia fungua bike. You come to this other side, unaifungia hapa, this is where you open like that. So it means it's very very secure. Unachukua hii stuff hivi juu, see, it's a convertible thing, then unaifungua hii. This is where you find your batteries. Now if you look closer, there are 2 batteries here, and like other bikes inakujanga na battery moja, because hii inakuja na mbili because it has more power. You know, the normal electric bikes unaweza compare maybe na 95cc bike, but this one inaenda part to part with a petrol bike ile 150cc petrol. So this one has 2 batteries, they are quite strong. Range wanasema ni about 100 kilometers if you are alone. Power is about 90 kilometers per hour, you know, top speed. So wacha nionyesha venye hiyo battery inakaa. I know it's quite heavy, but wow, it's quite heavy, but ukiangalia ikikaa hivi, you see, so alafu when you're putting it back, check for this sign, ukicheck nini ndio lazima ikuwe imeendanisha hivyo. So you always have to take them for swapping. It's a few seconds. You can also have your own your own charger, charge it at home. About 5 hours you'll be fine to go. But for now you can just swap, and remember guys, when you're going to swap, you'll have to swap the two of them at the same time. Acha sasa tuende kwa the display part of this bike. I think it's 3.2 inch display. First tab here shows your battery range. Mine is at 32%. Then we have the speedometer here, it's at 0 because I'm not moving. Then it shows your average speed, and here we have your driving mode. Right now it's at parking. Then kuna trip and your odometer here. This one is at 454 kilometers already, and it shows nimewasha light hapa. Now when you come here, it's where more things are more interesting. Hii ndio ya kuwasha na kuzima. This is where you switch on and switch off the bike. Then you have your reverse button here when you want to go reverse. This is electric, it's quite simple. Then you have this switch here. One is for lower gear, when maybe you're holding a passenger or cargo on a normal road. If you need power, you go to gear 2, and if you need more power than that, you go for gear 3. So hii nayo ni kama ya drive mode. It's like start. If you want to put it that way, you come to this other side. Hapa tuko na option ya region. For those who know about electric things, we have the regenerative braking and whatnot. Then here we have the indicators from your left, right, the horn, and this is where you switch on the lights. So hapa unaweza weka either dim ama full light depending na ile mode uko nayo. In fact, nikiweka full light, ukikuja hapa kwa display unaona ina change to a darker mode, because now assuming it's at night. The blue light is on, meaning it's at full light. Yeah, and this is where you press in the key. This is where you put it on and off. It's quite manual. Then you have your USB port here if you want to charge your phone. I haven't seen that in these normal bikes. So guys, let me show you a very interesting thing about this electric bikes. You can make up a bike zote, but I've seen this on this Zeno bike. It's when kama saa iko kwa range kwa parking, which means I'm not moving. But once nitatoa hii stand hivi, inakuja hapa ina change, inasema iko ready. So the bike itself senses that ukishatoa stand inakuwa very ready, so you're ready to move. The next thing ni kuengage to gear nasonga. If I put my stand back, where's the stand? If I put it back like that, inakuja inakuwa parking, but when I disengage it, inakuja inakuwa ready. I think that's a very, very interesting feature. So in terms of maintenance, which is a very big factor when it comes to buying, a bike, this one is quite different. Also, petrol bikes wanaenda oil change, wanaenda kuchange hizo drum brakes, wanafanya spark plugs and all that because it's petrol, but this one is electric. We only do two things. Hizo ndio vitu mbili nitakuwa nifanya na hii bike. One of them is, checking the brakes of this bike and the motor, changing the transmission oil, only that. So ukicompare my cost and the normal boda guy, mimi nitakuwa better off in terms of how much I'll be spending way less, plus I have warranty. The warranty of this Zeno bike, remember you're buying it 0 mileage, so warranty of course will be there. Now acha ni explain very, very slowly ndio muelewe. So kuna two types. Kuna the other nitty-gritties. Then we have the the chassis, we have the motor. Those are major. So warranty for that is 3 years or 70,000 kilometers, which I think it's very, very nice. For the other things, the headlights and whatnot, is 12 months or 30,000 kilometers. The most important part of this review is what's the price of this bike. Now, cash price is about 189,000 Kenya shillings. Or you can do 2 different hire purchase terms. We're going to do more on that, but you can put a deposit of maybe 15K, then maybe be paying per day. So should you buy this bike? Should you consider it, or should you avoid it? I've had a good test drive with this, and when I was reviewing this bike, I found some border guys when you're not near this same Zeno bike. I've spoken to them, bado unaenda kuongelesha wengine but so far I'm going to buy it. It's a definite buy because of one thing. Apart from it being electric, it's very, very strong. The chassis is strong. I've told you about all things, the suspensions, the brakes. It's quite fast. I mean, it's powerful. Naweza beba mizigo yote, naweza beba mabeshte zangu wote hata kiwa nne. I think it's a buy for me. Most likely naenda kuchukua. So I think it's definitely a buy from my side. Watch this review and comment below. Tell me what you think about this bike. If you have any question, just ask me, I'll answer. Yeah, so it's a definite buy. Till next time, my name is Ian. Bye.